Hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not. Next up, Novocaine. No, 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 it's not a movie about a guy going to the dentist. No, no, no. It's an action film starring Jack Quaid. I'm Dennis Quaid. Jack Quaid, where he plays a guy with a condition called SEPA, where he cannot feel any pain, which is a real thing, I guess. And when his this girl that he likes gets kidnapped by these bank robbers, he decides to chase after them with extreme prejudice because throw caution to the wind because he can't feel any pain. There is your plot. I enjoyed this movie. It might make my top 10. I don't know. I'm looking through with my list of what would be my top 10. And I'm kind of having issues trying to figure out what would make it. But because I haven't seen everything. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I did think that maybe it goes a little too long. Like, it feels like we're wrapping up, and then they're like, hey, remember Con Air? Remember how you thought that was over? And they kept going? Let's do that here. That's what it felt like. It felt like everything was wrapping up, and then boom, boom, we're still going off to the races here. It's like, are we still going? And then when it does finally wrap up, I felt like, I don't know, it wasn't the ideal wrap up. So we start out with this guy. His name is Nate, or Nathan. Nathan Kane, a.k.a. Novocaine. That is his name because he feels no pain. Apparently he's been falsely taught to fear his special powers. Dude, come on. I know that there's a thing, well, you could be dying and you never even know it. Sure. But you're not feeling any pain, man. You could... Dude, no fear. He's even afraid to eat solid food because he's afraid he'll bite off his tongue. That's not how it works. You can't just bite off your own tongue. There's no way. There's no way to chew off your own tongue. That hurt, but there's no way. You can swallow your own tongue. There's no way to bite off your own tongue. But yeah, and he starts to get close to this other bank teller, played by Amber Midthunder, who everyone thought was gonna be a big deal when she was in Prey, and they were like fan casting her and everything. This is like the first movie I've seen her in since that one, so people need to like lower their expectations. Like, oh my god, she was really good. She's gonna be big. This is what she did after that. That's it. So it's not a bad thing. Well, yeah, and they go out and they have this connection, and they make the obvious joke where it's like, you say you can't feel any pain, but can you feel anything else? So they can proceed to get busy. Have sex. Do it! Yeah. Then the very next morning, the bank gets robbed by guys dressed as Santa Claus because, surprise, this is a secret Christmas movie that was released in March for some reason. Not the first Christmas movie to release. And that's why people are like, oh, it has to be released around Christmas time for it to be a Christmas movie. No, it don't. Like, Die Hard wasn't released then. Who cares? Die Hard's a Christmas movie. So is this, apparently. Guys dressed as Santa Claus robbed the bank. I wish I knew this was a Christmas movie. I would have saved it for the Christmas reviews. Yeah, I thought it was, why are they dressed as Santa Claus? And there they mentioned Christmas. I'm like, oh, this is a Christmas... Oh, okay. I know people are going to say, it's not actually a Christmas movie because Christmas isn't the focal point. Shut up! Santa Clauses, they mentioned Christmas a few times. It's a Christmas movie. It's LA. They're not going to have it, They come in, they rob the place, and they take the girl hostage. And I'm watching this, and I go, so she's in on it, right? There's no reason why they would just kidnap her. If anything, the way the situation was demanding is they would kidnap him, not her, because they had him at gunpoint the most of the time. I do like, though, when they're trying to beat the hell out of him, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He feels no pain. So they punch and kick him, whatever it is. And there is some cool sequences. Like, there's like, when because he gives chase, and he chases this one guy to a restaurant, and he, like, gets his hand stuck in hot boiling oil, and he's fine, and he beats the shit out of the guy, and kills him, and there's some bloody gore, and there's some fight sequences. You gotta show this guy can't feel pain. When they do it in the fight sequences, I think it works. But there are two other moments that don't work. One, there are quite a few moments in this where they will slow down the footage when he gets hit. And I know that's meant to show an impact for us. Like, ooh! Because when your character can't feel pain, you can't sympathize with them because they can't feel the pain. But you're meant to go, you know. So they slow it down to do that. But in doing that, they make it then unrealistic to his character not feeling pain. Why are you slowing it down when he can't feel that? What's the point of showing the impact? He can't feel it. I know it's for us, but for the context of the film, it doesn't make any sense, right? Then there's the scene where he goes to the guy's place that he just killed, and there's a bunch of booby traps around. It doesn't make sense why there's booby traps other than to show him getting hit with stuff and it not hurting him. That's it. Right? There's also these two cops. One is Betty Gabriel, who you know from Us. Is Us? No. Get Out. Okay. No. From Get Out and Unfriended. Dark Web. Yeah. She's doing other things. She's one of the cops. The other guy is a guy is probably just that guy I've seen in that one thing. I can't tell you where he's from, but he's from something. I don't have my setup to look it up. So, but yeah, they're the two cops, and they show up, and it. Of course, for some reason, they think that Nate isn't on it. They're like, yeah, one of the employees took after him, and they're like, oh, he must be in on it. And I'm like, really? He took chase. He's chasing after them, but you think he's in on it? Okay. And they even do the smart thing is has to call his phone, and he's like, hey, why don't you come in? He goes, oh, you think I'm in on it? I'm not in on it. I'm trying to save my girlfriend. I'm trying to save the hostage. But why don't you come in? Because, I'm not going to believe him, that sort of thing. So he has to rely, once he does get to they do eventually reveal that, yes, she's in on it, because the guy who's behind this, Simon, played by Ray Nicholson, is her adopted brother. According to Wikipedia, they never say adopted, they just say brother. But I guess they just assumed adopted because she's Native American and he's white. I guess. I don't know. According to Wikipedia, they're adopted. But yeah, it's revealed that they're... But you can tell she kind of has remorse for this. He gets caught in a trap, like, he's able to figure out where he needs to go, and then immediately he gets hit by a rope. Now, I could see them doing all this stuff, like, for him to get hit and show the pain. What the fuck is there a rope in the middle of the thing? There's no reason for that, So then he calls his buddy, Jacob Batalon's character, Noah? No. Huey? No. It's something. He calls him. He's like, come on, I'm your friend, man. I need your help. You're the only friend I have. And he's like, oh, shit. Okay, fine. Give me 10 minutes. So he puts the 10 on his thing because he can just jump on the Harley and go. And I would have preferred if they just cut to him showing up and getting him out. If they went to the cops doing something and come back and he shows up and gets him out. But no, he goes, okay, 10 minutes. I can wait 10 minutes. Immediately, someone else comes in looking for it's the guy's brother looking for his brother. And so he pretends to be a burglar. Or Nate pretends to be a burglar to just, and he's like, well, you just found this place? Yeah, I just happened upon it, and I decided to rob it. Well, then why do you have the address written on your hand? Because you went to a tattoo parlor. The guy talked to a guy. I skipped that scene. He goes to the tattoo parlor, and he talks to the guy, and he tattooed the thing on his hand for some reason. So then we get a scene where he's torturing this guy, but he feels no pain. He has to act like it hurts, because he needs to draw out the 10 minutes till his friend gets there. Eventually, after they do this excruciating thing where they're peeling off his nails, and he's pretending that it hurts, it's supposed to be funny, but you're going, at least I was, because, that's some saw shit, or whatever. Peeling off the nails or whatever. But yeah, so, eventually, Jacob Batalon shows up, and he's like, hey, he knocks him out, and that could have been it. I don't know why they needed to draw this out. Again, they could have just cut to him showing up and rescuing him. But, no, they draw this out so much. But all that's, why can't he get loose and knock the guy out, and the guy shows up and they drive off? No, we got this whole scene where he's torturing him, he's pretending to feel pain, then Batalon shows up and knocks the guy out. And instead of just getting the hell out of there, they take their sweet-ass time talking to each other, and then the guy wakes up, and more fighting happens. The guy shows the guy don't feel pain, and then they get out of there. But they can't get out of there because the cops have shown up. And it makes no sense to me as how the cops would know to go there. But they show up, and so then you have Jacob Batalon wearing the suit. Somehow it fits him, even though Jacob Batalon's a little heavy like me. But it somehow fits him, and it's a distraction so he can get out of there. He's not wearing a leather jacket with white tank top, looking all cool, and he finds the place. And he goes in and he holds Ray Nicholson at gunpoint. And that's where he's like, you're gonna let her go. And he's like, let her go? Idiot, she's my fucking sister. Which automatically makes him realize she's in on it. That, her being his sister doesn't mean shit, really, but whatever. So they have a bit of a fight until the cops show up, because this time it's revealed that Batalon told them where they were going to be. They go there, they shoot Ray Nicholson, he's dead. This is where it seems to be he's dead. This is where we wrap it up. They start to arrest her, and they put him on a gurney, and they put him in an ambulance, and everything's wrapping up. Oh shit, Ray Nicholson's not dead. He shoots that guy you've seen in something, and then shoots her, and then takes off in the ambulance. I thought we were wrapping up here. The movie's an hour and 50 minutes. You could have cut some of this stuff down. It didn't need to be this long. Like I said, as much as I love Con Air, the whole extra act at the end is unnecessary. Like this one. Because all it is that female cop lady gets shot, and then Emmerman Thunder Sherry decides to go after him. She said, no, you're not going after him. She's like, sorry. Like, you're taking me with you. Which would actually slow her down, but okay. So, then it doesn't really make sense for her to be involved in this, other than, I don't know, because Jacob Batalon is still handcuffed in the back seat, and she chases them to where they need to go to the pier, and then she said, okay, take her to the hospital. And then the cop gives her her gun. And I'm like, Okay, but she could have just done that when she said she was going to take off and then go. She says, don't miss, but she kind of does. She hits him once and then just keeps shooting. Like I said, they have this cool fight. You don't feel anything. And like, he has him squished down with his tires on his head. Or is that earlier? That's earlier. Never mind. Now he's got him. He's still kind of... He breaks his hand to get out of the gurney, and they have this fight and everything. And he breaks his hand so like his femur bone is sticking out. Whatever this is sticking out. It's very important. It's sticking out here. It's very important. So he decides he's just going to kill his sister. And then Nate shows up and just takes the bone and goes right through, killing him. I'm assuming he's dead. No, you might be. I'm assuming he's dead. And then he passed out because he jacked himself with adrenaline, which they point out earlier that he does, and he doesn't. And he passed out from all this trauma. And yeah. And then we got to keep going, because in a traditional film, what would happen? Wake up in the hospital, she's there, they have a little moment, and then the movie ends, right? No, they decided, let's make this a realistic ending. For no reason, because this is a fucking movie. Like, people are going to ask, well, how come he didn't get in trouble? Or how come... Save it for the sequel. Right? But no, he wakes up, and Jacob Batalon is there. He's like, Sherry. What about Sherry? Sherry's fine. She's good, dude. She's fine. And I had your back. And then Betty Gabriel shows up, and it's like, this is from my daughter. Because he mentioned it earlier, like, don't you have someone you risk your life for? Daughter. So, right here. It's a note from my daughter. Get well soon, whatever. She said. And she says, well, you're facing a lot of charges here. Manslaughter. And breaking and entering. It's an action movie. No one cares about the consequences. If this is the case, John Wick should be locked behind bars. But, no. And Bob Odenkirk should be locked behind bars. But no. Right? Well, that's secret agency stuff. So he's just someone said, he's not like them. He's a normal guy. So he's got to be in trouble. So he's got, what? 8 months probation or something. Or some shit. Whatever. And then we cut to, it's a year later. He's free to go. He's under house arrest for five weeks or something in 8 months. I don't know. We get to a year later, so the house arrest meant shit. And he's playing the video games with Jacob Batalon. He said, I gotta go. I got a date. And they show a piece of cherry pie, which is what he brought up earlier when he was talking about how he's afraid to chew through his tongue, which is not actually possible, but whatever. And so then she's like, you gotta try the cherry pie, because he's never had the cherry pie. And so he takes the cherry pie. And again, I'm sitting here going, are we gonna end this? Because like, this could be a romantic or whatever, but then you got this obnoxious guard going, because he's like, got these tattoos on him, so we show that he finished the tattoo, and he's got like the princess, which is her, and him. And he says a line which will make people roll their eyes, like, I realized the princess didn't need to be saved. The man didn't need to save the princess. And it's like, they saved each other. And the guy's like, hey, button up that shirt. This ain't no conjugal visit. He's like, no, whatever. So he buttons it up. And I know it's not open flame. He's like, no. Today, it's her birthday, something, I don't know. It's their 1 year anniversary, I guess. And they go to kiss, and he's like, don't make me come over there. Gee, end! And it ends. Well, not yet. She gets taken away, and he's there chewing the pie. And I'm like, don't do it. Because I was afraid they're going to do a gag where he actually chews off his tongue. No, they don't. He just keeps chewing the pie, which is not possible to chew off your own tongue, but okay. So beyond it taking forever to end, seriously, all you need to do is have the cops come in, shoot Ray Nicholson, and take him off. Maybe he passes out from the trauma or something from that. They try to help him get up. He passes out. Whatever. Or he ends up in the hospital. They wrap it up with her being there, and they go to credits. We didn't need that extra 20 minutes of runtime for all that. But beyond that, I did like it. I will say it's pretty good. Especially for something I just decided to buy on a whim. And it's a 4K, which, I don't normally buy, but I saw it. That's all they had there. And they did have a Blu-ray, but it was out. They had a spot for it, so I just bought it. Who cares? I've done it before. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Novocaine? No comments, we should like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm this guy, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm just going to do this.